Picture the inside of a semi-truck cab at 2 in the morning. The engine is running, not because the truck is moving, but because it has to keep running, just to keep the driver from freezing or overheating in the sleeper berth. Outside, in the fluorescent glow of a truck stop parking lot, every legal space is already taken. The driver behind that wheel has maybe 90 minutes of legal driving time left, no open parking space in sight, and a body running on gas station coffee and whatever was still warm at the last drive-thru. This is not a rare bad night. Federal survey data shows that 98% of truck drivers have struggled to find safe parking within their normal operating area. This is Tuesday. This is every week. This is what it actually takes to survive 12 hours behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. Long-haul trucking runs on rules most people never think about, and those rules are the key to understanding how drivers eat, sleep, and stay alive on the road. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration allows a driver to drive a maximum of 11 hours after 10 consecutive hours off duty. That 11 hours has to happen inside a 14-hour on-duty window that starts the moment the driver clocks in, whether they are driving, fueling, or standing at a loading dock, waiting for a warehouse crew to finish. The window does not pause. A 30-minute break is required after 8 hours behind the wheel, and once 60 or 70 hours are logged across a week, the driver is legally done until a 34-hour reset clears the slate. Every second of this is tracked by an electronic logging device wired directly into the truck's engine, reporting straight to federal databases. There is no fudging the numbers anymore, and hours of service violations remain among the most common findings at roadside inspections across the country. Inside that 14-hour window, a driver still has to eat. And this is where the job gets brutal in a way that rarely makes the headlines. Truck stops are largely built around fast food counters and gas station shelves, because that is what fits a schedule with no real lunch break and no kitchen. A large-scale study following long-haul drivers found that 91.7% were classified as overweight or obese, more than double the rate most people would expect walking into any American workplace. The same NIOSH research found 14% of long-haul drivers had diabetes, exactly double the 7% rate found in the general working population at the time. This is not a failure of willpower. It is the direct result of an occupation that keeps a person sitting still for 11 hours a day, surrounded by drive-through windows and vending machines, with almost no access to a real kitchen, and precious little time to use one even if it were sitting right there in the cab. One study of truck drivers across 5 carriers found nearly 74% met the diagnostic criteria for metabolic syndrome, the cluster of risk factors that sharply raises the odds of heart disease and stroke, though other studies using different testing thresholds put that number closer to half. Some drivers fight back with a cooler and a portable stove, prepping meals during mandatory breaks, but with a 14-hour clock running, that kind of discipline is the exception on America's highways, not the rule. There's a physical reason that engine keeps running all night, too. Modern sleeper cabs need power for heat, air conditioning, and the small refrigerator or microwave many drivers install to fight the fast food problem. And without a battery-powered auxiliary power unit, the only way to get that power is to leave the diesel engine idling. An idling truck burns close to a gallon of fuel an hour, just keeping the cab livable, which is why more carriers now install auxiliary power units and truck stop electrification pedestals, letting drivers plug in instead of burning diesel all night. Basic hygiene is its own daily transaction out here. Chains like Pilot Flying J, Love's, and DePetro tie free showers to loyalty programs, typically awarding 1 shower credit for every 50 to 75 gallons of diesel a driver buys, with some programs granting a free shower every day once a driver crosses a monthly fuel threshold. Without those credits, a shower usually runs $10 to $20. After paying, a driver gets a ticket or an app notification with a stall number, then waits for it to be called over the loudspeaker, since showers tend to back up during the same evening hours when parking is hardest to find. Chains have poured tens of millions of dollars into renovating those shower rooms in recent years, because a clean, private stall is one of the only real comforts standing between a driver and another night behind the wheel of an idling engine. Then comes the part of the job most outsiders picture completely wrong: sleep. That 10-hour off-duty window is not spent in a bed at home. It is spent in a sleeper berth roughly the size of a walk-in closet, bolted to the back of a diesel engine, parked wherever a space happens to be open. And finding that space has become one of the single biggest fights in American trucking. Researchers with the American Transportation Research Institute have documented that there is currently only one public truck parking space for roughly every 11 truck drivers nationwide. Drivers sacrifice an average of 56 minutes every single day just hunting for somewhere legal to stop, at an estimated cost of about $7,000 a year in lost driving time. Run out of daylight and open spaces at the same moment, and a driver is left with an impossible choice: keep driving illegally past the legal limit, or pull onto a highway shoulder or an off-ramp and hope nothing goes wrong overnight. The National Transportation Safety Board has directly tied fatal crashes to exactly that kind of forced roadside parking, warning that the shortage puts lives at risk on highways across the country. If you're finding this breakdown of what drivers actually go through useful, hit subscribe. This channel goes deep into the mechanics, history, and hidden realities of the trucking industry every week, the parts of the job nobody sees from the passenger seat of a passing car. Now let's get into what happens even when a driver does manage to find that space. Even when a driver does find a spot and gets those 10 hours, the sleep itself is often working against them. The same conditions driving up obesity rates are driving up something even more dangerous behind the wheel: obstructive sleep apnea. Multiple studies of commercial drivers have found sleep apnea rates ranging from around 28% up to nearly 80%, compared with roughly 6 to 17% in the general population. One landmark study found that drivers with untreated sleep apnea face as much as a 7-fold increase in crash risk. Combine a disorder that fragments sleep every single night with a job that already limits total rest to 10 hours in a cramped, vibrating box on wheels, and it becomes clear why fatigue sits at the center of almost every serious conversation about truck safety in this country. Because drivers are not simply enduring these conditions, they are adapting to them in real time. Apps like TruckerPath now let drivers reserve a parking space in advance, instead of gambling on finding one at the end of a shift, with more than 100,000 reservable spots already built into the network. Federal and state governments have funneled roughly $752 million into new truck parking construction between 2022 and 2026, even though a single public rest area parking spot can cost anywhere from $93,000 to over $113,000 to build. Some carriers now run onboard wellness screenings and telehealth access from the truck itself, aiming to catch high blood pressure, diabetes risk, and sleep apnea before they turn into something worse. None of this fixes the underlying math of 11-hour driving limits and a nationwide parking shortfall, but it is slowly changing the day-to-day reality for millions of drivers who spend more of their lives in that cab than in their own homes. What all of this adds up to is a simple, uncomfortable truth. The 11-hour driving limit was written to protect the public from fatigued drivers behind 80,000-pound vehicles, and on that count, it works. But that same rule does nothing to guarantee a driver actually gets a real meal, a hot shower, a safe parking spot, or genuinely restorative sleep once the clock runs out. Surviving 12 hours behind the wheel was never just about staying awake at the wheel. It's about everything that happens in the hours the public never sees, in a truck stop parking lot at 2 in the morning, with the engine still running.